All right. How's everyone this evening? Wow, we got a full house in here already. Let's see. Mysterious Luna, the bestest of wolves, Bernaldus, Mystic Lavender White Wolf, Lillian Panini, welcome, and Chantel Boston, Cara Kofer, and Animal Man, welcome. Whew, we got a bunch in here tonight, which is good to see. Really good to see. And Magic Will 1, hello. And Wendy, good to see you again. Okay, so it looks like we got some new faces and some longtime viewers as well. So, it's here. October. Yep, it's here. This is usually when those in the magical community, we know this year, this is the half of year things get crazy and fun. And Lillian, what's everyone conjuring this week? Well, me, Lillian, I've actually been doing a lot of work with Odin and Mab, and I just started getting back into my Clifothic working. So I was working with Nama a few nights this week as well. So it has been a busy, busy week. Adam, no, I do not offer channeling services. I prefer to teach people to do things for themselves as opposed to doing it for them. That kind of comes with the whole Norse and the dragon magic. Those philosophies just tend to be more focused on the sharing the knowledge and information so one can do it for themselves, which is the whole point of this channel. I want to empower people. Let's see here what we got. Let's see. Chantel asks, how's the fake horse coming along? Actually, very, very well. That's one of the things I was talking with Mab about this week, Chantel. And I'm actually getting ready to have a sit down chat with one of the first Fey Lords of Winter that is actually going to be in that course. Me and him is going to be sitting down and chatting a lot this month, from what Matt was telling me. So it's actually coming along pretty well. Nowhere near a release date, but it is coming along very well. Though the Dragon Magic 102 class, all the files that got corrupted and we lost, we're catching up on those. So we should be back on track with that one very, very soon. But the Fey course is coming along nicely. Let's see, Wendy, this is my first Samhain as a practitioner, so I'm pretty excited. This whole last bit of the year should be interesting. Wendy, you ain't kidding. This half of the year really, I mean, it's practitioner or not, this last half of the year is just backloaded with so much stuff that's fun. But as a practitioner, it really does take on a whole new view. Magic Malangle, welcome. Mystic Lavender White Wolf, you've been doing some inner child work. Cool, cool. That's definitely something that needs to be done. Let's see, Adam asks, can you explain an astral implant? What an astral implant is and how can it impede spiritual process? Adam, I'll be honest with you. Every person that has come to me telling them some psychic or something has told them they have an astral implant or they have a bad dream and they're convinced they have an astral implant. The only thing that I found anytime they claimed this was just an energy imbalance, that once the imbalance was fixed, they're good to go. And that was what was causing the problems with the impeding of the spiritual process. It was just an energy imbalance, so the energy wasn't flowing as well as it could. So honestly, I've never encountered one that would actually count as a genuine astral implant. It's everyone that has been brought to me just turned out to be an energy imbalance. And I have yet to run into any entity, and I do mean any entity, that uses such a technique as an implant. So I don't know. That one's a little trickier. I can only go with the ones that I've encountered, which were just energetic imbalances. Adam, I love how calm and collective you are. It shows you're a master of your mind. Well, thank you. Uh, I'll be honest with you, cameras scare the tar out of me. That's one reason I seem pretty collective, because if you jump into the Discord and you hear me in voice chat, I'm pretty hyper at times, though I do have that little calm spells about me, definitely. But I do believe in mental mastery. I really do. So I do try to always be aware of what I'm doing. So, but I appreciate the compliment. I really do. Let's see. Starseed Spirit, welcome. Good to see you. Magician Girl, hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. You made it. Always good to have you. Let's see here. Adam asks, what was the most mythical supernatural creature you have encountered in the astral, and what did it look like, and what features did it have? I've seen a lot of weird crap on the astral. Some things I ain't even got names for, I'll be honest with you. And this one's kind of one of those weird ones, because what's mythical and supernatural, and I guess you could say impressive, is going to be different from everybody. Angels and demons do not impress me at all. Sorry. Um, I would have to say, for my money, the 9 rulers in Dragon Magic, they have an overseer. I'm not allowed to share his name or anything, but for lack of a better terminology, he's a insanely large dragon that also basically keeps the gates of reality, if that makes some kind of sense. Because I'm trying to sum this up. And he would probably be for my money, the most impressive mythical supernatural creature that I personally encountered within the astral realms. That's for my money. Magic Blank, I uncrossed a friend of mine at a gas station here. He done did cross himself. Oh, don't you just love when your friends go and curse themselves up and you have to untangle them? Well, Malangle, I'm glad you were able to untangle him for him. That's a good thing of you. I've actually literally had to untangle my friends, people who's fallen into like anchor lines and stuff on a fishing boat and got themselves tangled up. But I've also had to uncross them too. Andrew, good to see you, my man. Welcome. Ooh, before I forget, everyone, October 15th is coming up quick. So the art contest for the limited edition 2020 Halloween themed coffee mug that we was going to be putting out, that's coming up. Now, a lot of you said you're wanting to enter the contest. If you haven't got your entries in, make sure you get them in by the end of the night on the 15th, because the morning of the 16th, I will be sending those to be judged. And remember, if you win, your artwork goes on one of the coffee cups, and it's only going to be limited. We're going to do, I think, 50 or 100 of them. That's still in the air. We're leaning toward 50, and you get one of them for free for winning. A good tossed coat. Yeah, Thor has a good way of. Yeah. Yeah, you see enough weird stuff, eventually you just calm. Mystic Lavender, what wolf? You're normally a very serious person. You've been and logical, so you're trying to be a little more silly and a little more relaxed. You know what? I get that. I'm actually pretty much a very logical and serious person myself, but I have learned you can be logical and you can still have fun and relax. It is good. But don't fall into the trap of trying to be so silly that you're stressing yourself out trying to relax. I do that. I actually do that. That's one reason I tell people I can't take vacations. They stress me out. So I have to actually make sure I'm relaxing and not trying to relax in a way that's not going to relax me. See, I've encountered a dragon, a griffin, but I never saw the third one. So what does a griffin mean? Actual sense. It depends on who you ask. I usually see griffins as listed as power, freedom, growth. They some people even list them in with overcoming combat, battle, or strife. Adam, the nine rulers, the nine draconic rulers. So earth, air, fire, water, uh, darkness, light, spirit, maelstrom, chaos. Those are the nine draconic rulers. And I got a video on the nine of them here on the channel. It was not a hybrid. Dragons are not hybrids. They are pure dragons. They're not hybrids. And it was a excessively large dragon, very dark in color, with interesting like sheen and marbling to the scales. But its appearance also was kind of morphic to an extent. Jade, good to see you. Happy Sunday to you too. Definitely happy Sunday. Kicking this week off right. See, TC, good to see you again as well. Let's see, Magic Malangle. Let's see here. Malangle, cultures who do piercings seem to do it for worship reasons. Do any do it for self-mastery spiritual reasons? Or is it more dedication related? You are correct. A lot of the cultures who do it for worship reasons. I have seen some do it as a form of dedication. I don't necessarily call it self mastery. It's more of a demonstration of self mastery because they can just show that they can just ignore the pain and take the piercing kind of concept. That said, I do know a lot of magicians. I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I gotta reiterate that. I know a lot of magicians who do piercings though for magical reasons, um, and they'll use the piercing process and the pain release to empower their magic. But then they also whatever it is they put in the piercing, if it's a permanent piercing, they usually carries an enchantment with it as well. See, Wendy, recently I've come across a theory that the Lovecraft entities are real and can be worked with. The theory is that Lovecraft got the big dream messages from them. What do you think? Wendy, I actually think it's very possible. In fact, I've mentioned it in Ramblings and Coffee Hour, I think, a few times where I've tinkered with the Necronomicon and the entities therein somewhat, and I got a lot of success with it. And I actually am planning a pretty deep dive path working with those entities, and I'm still gathering some notes and stuff to get into that. The biggest thing I'm waiting on before I dive into that is I want to get this Cliff path working finished and completed that I'm working on. I'm not going to open both of those doors at once. Not happening. And some people believe that they're egregores that are built up off of the belief in the entities. I'm not so big on the egregore right now because I can't necessarily say exactly what the entities were, if it was other entities masquerading or what. But the things I encountered during my first few tests were definitely tangible enough to think it's more than an egregore. But so yeah, I'm going to go with very, very plausible. But until I do the deeper dive on that, I have to reserve my opinion. That's the scientist in me. Until I'm sure, I have to reserve my opinion. But I do see theories are coming from, and I'm leaning that direction. Let's see here. Freya is absolutely gorgeous, and she remains beautiful no matter how she presents herself, and she can present herself in many different ways, Adam. Whether she be a beautiful blonde woman or red hair, brunette, doesn't matter. And her and other entities, their features are not locked in. They can actually shift those. So, Tori Field, welcome. Just started my journey with Dragon Magic, and thank you for all your vids. Tori, you're absolutely welcome. That's why we're doing it, is to try and get as much information to those wanting to start their practice and seeking information as they can. So I'm glad you found the channel, and good luck on your practice. Let's see. Adam, does an angel in its highest, most heavenly form, just like it described in the Bible, with multiple heads, eyes, wings, etc., etc., etc.? No, actually, an angel in its highest form is an energetic being of no shape or discernment, which is pretty much the same with demons, because demons and angels are exact same entities. So yeah, they're beings without a physical form and shape. The only reason they would assume anything that would have a visual description is so that our little brains can attempt to decipher it. See, Lillian, I believe that the Lovecraftian characters are real, but I cannot vouch for the accuracy Lovecraft had because he was severely. Well, I see your point there. I'll not read that one out loud. But you know, I do need to, like I said, with the Lovecraftian entities, I'm leaning toward they are actually real entities, but I need to also actually test it. I take nothing at face value. But if they are real, it would be very easy for them to influence his dreams the way that people are theorizing. See, Mystic Lavender White Wolf. Hey, I'm curious. Are unicorns part of the Fae, and are they more folklore, or are they real beings? Yes, unicorns are real. They are part of the Fae, and you actually have unicorns on both sides of the Fae. So you will have them with the Seelie and the Unseelie, and they look very different on both sides as well. Temperamental, they are grumpy. They are very aggressive. They're not the cute, sweet little things that we do see in folklore. They're downright mean. Territorial, I think, might be the more correct word. But actually, both queens actually have one as a war mount, which is something I've mentioned before in here. Animal Man, can humans reincarnate into different animals? Technically, we can. Don't know why we'd want to, but we can. Azazel asked me to put his sigil on a rock. Is it chaos or wisdom? What's the difference? Crap. My computer's losing its mind. We still here? Okay. Yeah, we're still here. Good. I don't do rituals for clients. I actually teach classes, which my Astral Senses class is on the school. It's available for free. I also teach meditation, which helps with astral senses. The meditation course is also on the school. And I have videos on this channel here talking about beginner meditation and talking about the arcane senses with some basic exercises to get one started. Like I said before, I teach people to do it for themselves. I don't do it for them. Tori, referring to what was said about angels not having physical form recently, I saw something floating in my room that all I can describe it as is pure white energy radiating out. Would this be? It could be an angel. It could be. Um, but just because it's a white energy doesn't make it an angel. You'll find a lot of entities that do actually have that same manifestation trait, even demons. And Fae can do it as well. That you'll find that. So it doesn't guarantee it was an angel, but could very well have been an entity. At the same time, your third eye could have just been picking up an energy pattern. It could just have been energy. So it's really hard to nail that one down, Tori. I apologize. Bernaldus, there's also physical unicorns, but those are created by people. Yeah, there are instances where like small horses and goats have had their horns bound or implanted in such ways that yeah, they made unicorns. I was assuming we're talking about the more natural kind, not the man-made interfered ones. Let's see. Let's see. Mystic Lavender White Wolf asks, okay, cool. Can they help with healing? I'm trying to find type of being that can help heal with my inner child. No. Unicorns are definitely not for children, not the real ones. And honestly, healing's not really something they're too keen on any side. And you'd have to be able to really get close to one and really try to befriend it. And they will attack the Fae on sight and us. They're very territorial. So if you're looking for an entity to help with healing and work with your inner child, actually check out the video on this channel for Torgra. He's actually a dragon that does work really well with protection and emotional healing and stuff like that. And he is very playful and great with children. Lauren, hey, better late than never, girl. Welcome. Glad you made it. See, Wendy, going off of Lovecraft's ideal, I think I will go more in depth into it as I look at the planetary dragons and the zodiac dragons as they seem more extraplanar and galactic like the Eldritch. Wendy, the planetary dragons and zodiac dragons just fall into the other elements pretty standard. So, I mean, I'm not sure why you think there would be intergalactic or extraplanar over any other dragon. because they are seriously just a subset of the elemental dragons. Lillian, I always thought unicorns were temperamental as well. I just see them with bodies impaled on their horn. Actually, that's pretty much a common thing. They are aggressive and they will stab someone with that horn. And even in the astral, that hurts. And that horn can actually disrupt you on the astral, disrupt you to the point where not only will it send you back, but you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have to take a rest to recoup before you can actually project again. Let's see, Lauren Drake. I went to some local bluffs today to give my first offering to Freya. I spoke to her the other day at the full moon, and she agreed to teach me. Awesome, Lauren. That is so cool to hear. She has been, well, I mean, as the master of seed magic, of course she's awesome at it. But you will have a blast working with her. I'm absolutely certain of that, Lauren. That is awesome to hear. Congrats. Let's see. Mathilda, can I contact Torgra before I work with the four rulers, or is it advised to wait? Torgra is, he's actually pretty easy to contact before you reach out to the rulers. That's one of the reasons I did put his video up on the channel so early. He's just one of those outgoing dragons. He's a rare one like that, but he is actually one that's easily to approach. So yeah, if you wanted to reach out to Torgra, go right ahead. It's also a great way to find out if you might enjoy working with dragons. I mean, granted, he's not as grumpy as some of the others, but it'll also give you a ballpark of most dragons. It's what their energy would be like. Clearly not like a ruler's energy, but he's still really fun to reach out to. Let's see. Think you didn't know that about demons. Do you happen to know much about chi healing? Recently, I healed my mother when she was really unwell. Unsure how to explain it since I'm still shocked. Tori, I do. I've studied chi healing for a while. I'm trying to find a way to explain it easiest. Um, Chi healing is the ability to manipulate both the life force in oneself as well as the life force in the other person to achieve a goal. But it also works with the energies around both people during this manipulation and during this movement of the energy. And it does help the energy flow to where it's needed so that the healing can take place and quicker and speed it up. But it does create a natural healing through this energetic flow. Um, so in a lot of ways, some people just see it as a form of energy work, and technically speaking, it is. But the focus is a bit more on that natural flow of the energy already in both people and how you're moving it along, with support from outside energies as the secondary. That'd be the easiest way I could describe it, Tori. Lauren, she gave me a 4-foot tall staff as well. That's not unheard of. A lot of seed workers end up with a staff. They really do. Magician Girl 999, BFF Torgra. Everybody seems to love Torgra. They really do. I've actually gotten requests to get artwork of him slapped onto a coffee cup. See, Mathilda, a mysterious friend that my child self doesn't remember. Apparently, Peachy. And Malango reached out to Torgra last night. Awesome. So clear to see Torgra is getting a lot of press already. So that's awesome. We do go into depth working with him in more detail and stuff in the 101 course. He has his own very specific workings that he wants the practitioner to do in there. So that was kind of a fun one to get to try and sit down and get him to help and set up his part of that particular class, or I should say 102. Yeah. But I think those of you who take the 102 course, you'll have a blast with what he's got in store for you. See, yes, I had vague plans of how I would craft my staff for C's work, and then today she literally had one snapped right off of a larger branch as I stood there. I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is necessary. She's pretty good at getting one's attention when it's time. There's no doubts there. See, Bernolda's. Hey, Drake, can you do me a favor and give me a thumbs up with a broad smile? Did that work? Or is it? I'm not sure what you need. I'm pretty sure there's a screenshot in here and I'm going to regret it. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. See what I mean? You'll see. That means I'm going to regret this. Oh, dear God. Lauren, have you not been in the Discord server? They love to meme me. They really do. About time. About time. Y'all memeing me all the time. See, I take one day off and this happens. This is what I get for taking a day off. Oh, Lordy. Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. What am I going to do? Great questions here tonight, though, people. Absolutely great. Let's see here. So, I'm actually planning to, with Halloween coming up in this October, I was thinking I might actually try and do a little bit of ancestor work as well this particular month. See if I can poke and prod a few ancestors of mine and spend some time with them. Catch back up on their goings-ons and my goings-ons and see how we get going from there. By the way, we got 22 people in here watching and only 12 likes. Give us some thumbs up, people. See, Warren? More thumbs up. Helps YouTube let everybody know y'all like what we're doing here. Let's see. The bestest wolf. Out of the elemental rulers, in your experience, which was the hardest to work with and why? Out of the first 4, which is what we cover in 101, I would actually say for me, the hardest one was Korra. Most people find either Korra Legra, the ruler of water, or Ingus Salor, the ruler of fire, the harder ones to deal with out of the first 4. And that's because the lessons they teach are lessons that most people in their day-to-day life just don't want to deal with. So they'd rather run the other way. Now, the high rulers, which beginners should not attempt to work with, honestly, you could just about flip a coin between Tempestra and Zergaroth, because both of those two are going to throw so much at you. And their entire goal is to find your breaking point. And whatever your breaking point is, they're going to drag you about 5 light years beyond it. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's why they're not really good for beginners. And like I said, Magic's hard. It should be hard, and it will be hard. So if you're looking for something easy, don't do Magic. See. Let's see here. What we got? The feeling. Let's see. Adam, have you ever known any deities that have spirit lover relationships with humans? Who and how did they reach to that point? Yeah, I have known deities to do this. Actually, quite a few of them. As to the who, I don't know that it's my place to be sharing that private information of other people and how they reached out. Honestly, that's one of those things that differs from person to person and how it happens. Every person's path is different, just like every person's relationship with an entity is different. So there's no hard set guideline there. See, Lauren. Oh, I remember what I was going to ask. Piggybacking off our chat on the Poetic Edda and misogyny, I listened to a podcast called Vikings Are Gay. There's only a few episodes, but it's amazing. Well, I can see. I have not heard that podcast. I can honestly say that, Lauren. But I will say, during your questions, if we can, let's try and skirt political issues a little. We talked about a few different political issues Friday, I think, and YouTube limited certain things on that video for us. And I don't know if it's the politicals or that one yahoo we had come up in here and start a stir. So hopefully we have no yahoos, but I do have to take the political into context. And so, but I understand what you're saying here. I don't think this is an issue. Personally, I wouldn't call this political, but I'm not YouTube. You know how that goes. But I would actually, if you can, Lauren, if you, yeah, private message me that link because I'd actually like to listen to that podcast. I really would. Let's see. Bestest Wolf. I understand fire. He does quite literally make me feel like I'm thrown into the fire, but in a good way, though. Yeah, and see, that's it. Angus, he's going to teach you to confront anger, fear, aggression, passion, and he's going to push it to the max. And if he has to, he'll incinerate you. And like you said, literally throw you into the fire to be consumed by it. But at the end of the painful, horrible process, there is the whole Phoenix experience concept that happens. But you don't get to skip the rough stuff. You said ask. Oh, well, that makes more sense. Yeah, it was more of a statement than a question. I was trying to figure out the exact context of the question there, Lauren. No, like I said, I would actually like to hear it if you can. Let me see the link. Well, I honestly hadn't told anybody about the limitations because sometimes they're just slow to approve things, and that could be it. Maybe they're extra slow this particular time around. Um, I ain't too worried about it, but just in the long term. So, Ingus is a good one to do shadow work with, as is Cora. Both of them actually kind of start your shadow work a little early and kind of, well, let's say for dragons, it's kind of shadow work light. Um, but when you get into the higher rulers, is when you get into that deep, deep shadow work. That's one of the reasons you're supposed to approach the rulers in an ascending order. That way you're better prepared energetically, emotionally, and mentally to face the next challenges ahead. But the first four rulers are kind of on a level playing field. So you can approach them pretty much in any direction. Recommended direction would be earth, air, fire, water, because most people do better with the foundation, the mental state, then dealing with those fiery aspects and that aggression, and finally diving into that really deep, hard emotional sludge that they've built up through their life. Because that emotional stuff, that can be some of the hardest stuff to face for anyone. But there are people out there who that's the easy one for them. They're not as common, but they're there. Let's see. Bestest Wolf, the quote I had learned already. You keep running, and I will make you face it. Conquer the fear, and your journey to heal begins. Bestest Wolf, that is dead on. That is. When it comes to magic, when it comes to shadow work, when it comes to healing and growth, you can't outrun it. You can't. All running's going to do is you're never going to grow. You're never going to reach your goal, ironically. So you have to stop and face it. That's actually a pretty good quote. I like it. I mean, they are the same category of entity, Adam. Angels and demons are the same category of entity, literally. The only difference is what we would refer to as angels follow a more strict structure of rules and guidelines, and demons, being the exact same entities, working for the exact same goals, are on the other side of the spectrum where they deal more with chaos and just whatever they want. They don't have the strict structures and everything, but they're the same entities and actually working to the same goals. And they didn't become good and evil representations until Judeo-Christianity came along. See, for me, it would be Terra, but yeah. Yeah, Peachy, you had a little rough go around with Terrafauna. I'm not gonna lie there. Um, which I'll admit that's an unusual. Most people don't have a hard time with Terrafauna, but I mean, again, every person's different, so where they're going to have their struggles is different because we all have our strengths and our weaknesses, and inevitably, the quote unquote hard ruler for us is definitely going to push our buttons in our weaker points or the things we need to work on most. What is shadow work? Shadow work is how to explain this easy. I did a video on this, but the summary of it is shadow work is where you dive into the darker half of yourself to deal with trauma, you deal with mental issues, mental scarring, emotional trauma, spiritual trauma. And you actually dive in this to heal these things by accepting your shadow. The bulk of your shadow is aspects of yourself that you try to deny, hide away from both yourself and the world, and actually ends up weakening you and tearing you down and prevents you from being your truest self and your whole self. And it's very hard to dive in there because these are things about yourself you don't like. They're fears that you've ran away from your whole life. And it's an ongoing, lifelong process. But I did do a whole video on it, Adam, if you want to check that out. Mystic, you are right. The emotional is hardest for most people. It really is. For me, oh, 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 that was a rough ride for me. I'm not an emotional guy by and large. Logic, I can do. Foundational, I can do. Aggression, I can do. I can handle all the stuff they were throwing at me in those three levels. So I thought I was doing all right. And then I got to Cora and she's like, all right, we're going to take it easy and work on emotions. I was like, all right, let's do this. And then, bloop, drowned it in that ocean, did I? Take it easy. I think she fibbed to me. See, Lauren, I spoke with Cora before even starting the course, but that's because I was really going through a lot. And that's understandable. The rulers, before you start the course or before you get your guardian and your co-magician, they're not adverse to working with you. It's true, they won't pull their full presence to you because that would be detrimental to you. But they will try to help you and guide you along and get you through there. Or at least the first four rulers will. I would never advise calling on the higher rulers. I wouldn't skip and call on them. Every person I have ever known who's done it has regretted it exponentially. And that's one reason I'm not going to be putting their sigils on the YouTube channel. But with that, I mean, I had one person like, oh, I called on Zergaroth. It went fine. And you could literally just see everything just start to fall apart in their life like a week later. And that entire transformation process lasted. Actually, last time I talked to them, it was still happening. So you're looking at 3 years that I know of. So unless they've finally got that transition and that change to finally iron out, that's technically still happening. Oh, that quote was from Angus himself? Shoot. If you're in the Discord, give that to Bernoldus, that our admin Bernoldus, and he'll add that to the wisdom bot. And Born, if you're watching this, scroll up there and grab that quote for her. Help her out. We got that little wisdom bot full of nice little quotes from entities like that. Magic Malongo. Yeah, I'm not saying Terrafon is easy. Don't get me wrong there, Malego. I'm not. She's a rough one. She is a rough one, but she is about that foundation. She's really about building up that foundation good and strong. Jade, watch the shadow work video. Yes, definitely do watch that, Adam. It'll help out a lot. Oh, it's enlightening. Thanks for the compliment, Jade. Let's see, Jade, curious. Have you ever had any run-ins with entities that would test your psychic skills and physical strength at the same time? Yes. Yes, I have. The easiest one that comes to mind is Thor. And when he said he was going to test me, I was thinking it would be something on the physical or even something combat in the astral. I was not prepared for the psychic assault as it was. So during the entire testing process, not only was he pushing my physical body beyond its limits at that point, but he was also pushing my psychic skills and throwing as much as he could at me to overload them as well, therefore forcing me to rely on my pure will and mental focus to maintain my psychic abilities and keep my physical body going. Because I don't know if you've all ever worked out to the point where the only thing keeping you moving is your sheer will and stubbornness to not stop. And it takes like every ounce of concentration you have to do it. Well, he had me there and then started pushing my psychic skills to that same point. And, when it was over, I slept for a really long time. I was exhausted. I actually laid on the floor for a really long time before I could even get up. I'm not going to lie about that. But once I was able to get up, I went straight to bed. But I have had other entities do it as well. Let's see. One of the dragons in the 102 course, he deals a lot with physical strength and stuff. So, yeah, he tested my physical metal. Azazel actually is one that also pushed my psychic skills beyond what I thought it was possible, as did Zergaroth. Zergaroth really did. Zergaroth has left me with migraines more than I can count. Let's see, Adam, strange question. Is it possible for a spiritual being to fall in love with a human and vice versa? Yeah, it's possible, though don't expect monogamy because they don't view it the same way we do. And they're actually far harder on the beings they love than the ones they don't. So if you think you're going to fall in love with them and get easy street, you're wrong. In fact, the hardest path in life is to actually be in love with a spiritual being because they're going to hammer you daily to your breaking point because they want you to be stronger and be better and hopefully ascend to join them. Let's see. Yeah, I had my guard, but not officially within the course. It wasn't even her full presence, and I still immediately started crying. Core intense. Yeah, that's pretty common with Core Allegra. Just something about her. She just draws that out of people. Uh, Actually, a lot. It's not an uncommon thing at all. That's one reason I know that they will hammer you and push you to the breaking point. In fact, it's actually led to a lot of people going insane because of how hard they are on their mortal lovers. Let's see. Bestus Wolf. I'm Tigress in the Discord. My YouTube name is from years ago. Oh, well, that makes sense. Okay. Well, hi, Tigress. Good to know you're in here. Thanks for letting me know that. I can't copy paste. Why is it difficult? You got a pen and paper? Just write it down. Okay, let's see here. So, mysterious tap. So, let's say a person did a return to sender on a curse, but in truth, the person was just self cursing themselves all along. What magical effects would you expect their spell to have? Mysterious, that is a great question. And it's weird because I've actually seen this happen, and it's going to have two effects, generally speaking. One, it's just going to work like a unhexing. It'll, since you're sending it back to sender and your brain is unaware that you cursed yourself, the energy is going to unbreak itself because you're returning it back to where the energy came from originally. So you're sending it away from you, not necessarily to the person, but the energy returns to the multiverse as a whole. The second one is the energy does actually return to you, but the curse itself unbreaks and you get the energy back to yourself. And the large reason is this: you've actually used your own personal life force and or energy to shape this, so it returns it to you instead, and usually it leaves them feeling slightly hyper. See, Animal Man, you mentioned in some of your live streams that in order to not get tired while doing spell work, you should draw the energy from different sources other than yourself. Can you explain how to do this? Yeah, actually, in my video on Mercury retrograde, I talk about this as well. I thought I even did a video on this. Can't remember. I know I either plan to do a video or have done a video on this, Animal Man. But the ideal is you actually want to start to work with energies outside of yourself. And this is where your meditation, your energy work, and your training comes in, because when you start to actually shape a spell instead of just channeling energy into it, because if all you're doing is channeling energy, you're going to pull on the first energy source you got. That's you. That's simple. But if you reach out and grab a hold of an energy source you're used to working with, like the elemental energies, and you pull that energy in and you're directing that energy to your spell working, you're now utilizing that energy over yours. Now, in the beginning, some of your energy is going to transfer with it. In fact, no matter how long you're in Magic, some energy will transfer to at the minimum. But it takes time to minimize that. But with practice, it'll minimize a lot more. And you'll be able to do a lot more spell work per day because of that. Cool. Thank you for adding that, Bernaldus. We appreciate it. Mugs up to Bernaldus. Let's see. Javon? Is that Yvonne or Javon? Hi, Drake. I love what you do. Keep up the great teachings. Javon, man, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I will do that. I will. It's a lot of work, but it's a work of passion, at least. Let's see. Tori Field. I just tried using the Discord link under your vid, but it doesn't seem to work. It said it's invalid. Huh. All right, Tori, I will try and get a new link and see if I can get that one fixed. I think I know what might have happened. We had to adjust some things in the Discord, so I may need to get a new link for that. Thanks for letting me know, Tori. I will try to get a new link posted below very quickly, as I can. Which that sucks, because that link's in like all my videos, so I need to figure out what's going on there. Oh, that's going to be a lot of updating. Ooh. See, we're almost done with our coffee hour here. So, like I did say earlier, it is October 4th, actually, which means not only is October 15th the deadline for the artwork contest coming up, but so is Halloween, which we have the 5K challenge coming to a close on Halloween night, if y'all remember, which was to get the channel to 5,000 subscribers by midnight on Halloween. And if you do, my wife gets to dress me up in what god-awful outfit she wants to embarrass me in, as long as it meets YouTube guidelines, and I don't shave my goatee. That's the only two things. And I have to do a live stream in this outfit. Let's see. Thank you. Discord for right now only. What, Malengo? I don't know what that means. Yeah, actually, I do believe you have time, because those numbers are coming in quick. But if you want to see me embarrass myself, do remember, you got to hit the 5K by Halloween. Also, with that 5K, 4 of the members of the Discord community have volunteered to donate 4 Dragon Magic 101 classes that we'll be drawing and giving out to viewers during one of the live streams. Most likely the live stream in which I show up in the outfit, or we'll find another way to collect the names. Remove the space from the link and come at. Mystic Lavender White Wolf, just wanted to say I love your planetary / Zodiac Dragon video. Actually, that's just the planetary video, Mystic. We are actually filming one dedicated to the Zodiac Dragons and talking about how they work. But I am absolutely tickled you loved it. I was a little worried if people would like that one or not, actually, so I'm glad you did. Oh, so I need to interesting. Where'd the space come from? Hmm. Oh, I'll be sure to take a look at it because that should. It's been working in every other video, and I'll take a look at it, Tori. Do check out some of the other videos. All the recent videos should have that link, and those links should function. So you can also try that, Tori. Thanks for letting me know that, Malango. I will have to see why there is a space in there for some reason. Let's see here. Mystic Lavender White Wolf. It confirmed a lot what I was thinking on Planetary Dragon Magic was. Oh, cool. See, you gotta love when you get that confirmation on your gnosis. Let's see. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yours is now expired. Oh, yep. It's what I'm thinking it was. It's where we had to make that change in the group. So I'm going to have to go back and do a new permanent link for this. Thanks for letting me know that, people. I appreciate it. I will try and get that corrected. Oh, which means I need to find a way to. That's a lot of videos to update. Okay, we'll figure that one out. Appreciate it. All right, everyone. We are going to go ahead and finish up. We're past our coffee hour here. You have all had some wonderful questions tonight. I highly enjoyed them. It was great to spend time with you this Sunday evening and get to enjoy some coffee. And I will try to get that Discord link fixed ASAP. So when this uploads and finishes buffering by morning, it should be there. And just in the meantime, I'll go ahead and see if I can get a permanent link to put in the About section of the channel with the other links. So give me an hour and then check the About section if nothing else. And we'll hopefully have a functional link there. So, all right. So, with that said, everyone, you have a wonderful weekend. And the fact that it is October, do try to enjoy the fall and the energy that we got going on through here right now, especially with Samhain coming around, at least for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. And be thinking about this. So, next week, be thinking about what costume, if you could do any costume from a metaphysical point of view, what costume would you like to do? And if you could actually reach out and talk with any entity this month, whether it be a deity, a fae, a dragon, angel, demon, or even an ancestor, or a famous person, what entity would you reach out to this Halloween? Okay? And until next week, everyone, y'all take it easy and keep that research coming and keep making progress. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.